where that place I was referring to when I said where, the only place that it comes up where one could think twice about it might be the slams where the men are playing five, the best of five, the women the best of three. The women have offered, all right, you want us to play the best of five? We will. Of course they will. So that shouldn't be a criterion. The men are playing longer matches, so they deserve more money. It's silly to say we as men outdraw more women. I think it's silly to say we as women could outdraw more men if we get more prize money. I respect the right of any female athlete saying it should be equal rights. I believe that, and I think that many of the established men would be willing to have a woman receive equal rights. Now, am I talking to them on a daily basis? No, I'm not. But it's very difficult to not see the value. Everyone's equal in
Great
genders.
point. Good
All
point.
right. Well, thank
Now
you.
we're gonna.
You brought
You made a good
you
point. I
brought
think
it
it should be.
you brought it out of me. Thank you, Sekou. And I didn't mean to talk over you.
Great point. I think it should be equal pay because we all have a daughters. So um, let's go into an area where when you look at the basketball, coaches are on the sideline. When you look at the NFL, coaches are on the sideline communicating with the players. When you look at a volleyball, coaches on the sideline playing. I mean, even tennis, Davis Cup, the coaches on the court. What can we bring the coaches on the court during the professional event? Are you in favor of that?
Yeah, I think so. I think the only place that it might be less of more of a concern is in the junior ranks, where some people just don't have a coach.
Right.
Now, that can be countered by, well, his parents goes out. That's that's the way to handle that. And
No, I'm
that's
talking
tricky.
about professional
Uh,
level.
I
Junior.
I
I don't think
I
we need it at junior
uh,
level.
no, I agree with you. I was just trying to take a moment, get my thoughts together before I talked at the pros. It has been experimented on the WTA, where the coach is mic'd, and the coach comes out and speaks to the player. In general, I'd say almost all the time, the coach is giving good, healthy conversation, and you'll hear the broadcasters saying that. It's very interesting to hear what the coaches say to the players. I'm not totally answering your question, but I will get right on it now. And I think it would be good for the game. And as you pointed out, all the other sports have an active participant on the court in addition to the player. That's the coach. Should the coach sit on the court throughout the match? I think it'd be careful. It'd be difficult. It'd be challenging to have the coach on the court. Then all of a sudden, this player hits a winner and he jumps out of the chair and starts clapping. But maybe, my gosh, that might be a great way to market the game. And all of
Right.
a sudden, fans are watching. Oh, the player doesn't have quite the personality, but boy, I'm tuning in to watch Nick Baldassari coach out there and just scream and shout and entertain. Or, oh, there you go, Sekou. Maybe they ought to do a month of that where the coaches are out for and whoever knows tennis is probably saying, that Kaz is a moron. He's insane. I'm just having a little fun. Having a little fun with you tonight. I think it would be, it would be fun. And then the coach, and then the broadcasters critique the coaches. Oh my gosh, they may enjoy it. The
Right.
broadcasters, because that gives them more product to talk about.
Right.
On a little more serious note, I'm never that serious. I think that that would be a good thing for the game to allow the coaches to be on the court. Maybe not all the time, but let them talk. Sure, sure.
Now, after so many years in tennis, you've seen all. You've been to junior tournament. You've done a local, professional. Uh, what is your? What would you tell your grandkids? I know you have some of them. What's your intake on your grandkids? If you have to give them advice, what would you tell them to approach tennis? Because we we kind of like running into the innovation of internet, iPad, iPhone, all that involved. What would you tell your grandkids today to approach tennis?
Well, my grandkids play tennis. They may not play it at the tournament level that my kids were doing. Uh, I was a hands-on coach, and a number of people have been a hands-on coach. I think the best way to answer that is I'm going to take a very respected and a very successful coach, and that was Carol Sellis. His first name was Carol. That's Mr. Sellis, who coached his kids. And in coaching Monica, with all of her success, would get myriad phone calls. Everybody's calling him Mr. Sellis, Coach Sellis. Will you coach my child? Will you get my child training? And he had a test. He would screen the parent calling and say, "Tell me, what's tennis mean to you? What's tennis to you?" And the parents would get all excited. Oh, it's the most wonderful activity they could ever have. It means the world to me. I love it. It's my life. And Mr. Sellis would say, "Well, it's not going to work. Nobody could have the passion that you have for the game. Your child doesn't have the passion as much as you do. And for me to coach a kid, the kid's got to have more passion than the parents." And that's how he decided who he was going to coach. He didn't take anybody else on. I asked Monica Sellis that question on air, on TV. It was being recorded. It wasn't live, to be honest, but pre-recorded. "Monica, you know your dad used to test all the people that called him." And she said, "I knew a number of people called." And I said, "You know how he tested?" And I told her the story about what does tennis mean to you, and I can only take a player who wants it more than his parents. She said, "No, I didn't know that, but I can see my dad. That's how he believed it, that we had to love it more than he did." So I think that's the real trick in having kids want to play is having the kid love it more than the parent. And it's hard for a parent to back off, or it's hard for a kid to have more passion than the parent. But I think that's the trick. And I think also many are starting to see the merit of various activities, and no one has a better success rate and opportunity to express how you had Sekou Jr. participate in a number of activities. He was as good as a golfer as he was tennis player, and he was world-class tennis, world-class golfer. The same was true in music. He was a pianist at the same level of efficiency as he was in tennis. The same was true in golf. The same was true in chess.
Right.
So he was gifted, and you guided him also in the right direction. Now, I know you had feelings about that, so you take a moment out and say what it was like for you seeing Sekou Jr. More people call him Junior than Sekou Jr., but he was phenomenal in 4 activities.
Right. That's true. That's very true. You have a good memory, and remember, He won his first junior tournament at your club. I will never forget that.
Well, you were
But it was
kind.
our great
He was
guest
6 years
today.
old.
Right,
I'm sorry?
right. Our great guest today, longtime friend Dave KASLOWSKI. People call him the Cause. He was able to tell us what the cause mean, where is it coming from. To be continued, my friend. We may have to call you back one more day to come and do another one. You're
Uh,
so
I gave
knowledgeable.
you I gave you all I had today, Sekou. You
You're
got
so
me on a good
knowledgeable.
day.
I appreciate your time and your friendship and you for uh, trusting me to coach your children. Thank you again.
Oh, come on. Thank you,
Thank you again.
uh, and thank you for your contribution to the game in
Right,
many areas.
right. All right, radio listener, CQ Radio. Today, our guest was Dave Cause, and that's it for today. To be continued. Dave, thank you, and my best to your family.